Coming up, Tzu Chi volunteers in Jordan visit their care recipients and Syrian refugees. We meet Li Ziwei of Taiwan, who is awarded by Tzu Chi for fulfilling her filial duties. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen. Liao. Thank you for joining us. Tzu Chi volunteers in Jordan pay monthly visits to their care recipients and Syrian refugees, bring with them rice and aid on each occasion. Although these care recipients and refugees are dispersed across the country, Tzu Chi volunteers are always willing to travel long distances and go the extra mile to see them through these tough times.
Okay.
Volunteers have walked these stone steps each month for the past 18 years to visit one care recipient family. 3 of the 4 daughters in this family suffer from mental disabilities. However, the volunteers' care over the years has brought hope and laughter to this household. No matter how far the distance, volunteers are never afraid to go the extra mile and reach out to the helpless in the most forgotten corners. Besides keeping an eye out for care recipients, volunteers also bring aid and hope to care institutions and those with disabilities, like this nursing home for patients with Down syndrome. This baby boy was diagnosed with the deformity of his foot at birth. When he was 10 months old, his uncle turned to Tzu Chi for assistance. 3 months after his surgery, the boy will now be able to walk like a normal child when he grows up. Tzu Chi volunteers in Jordan always reach out to those in need. Their timely assistance is like the bounty of rain in times of drought. 3 years ago, Abu Oberida and his family left the refugee camps and decided to settle in Amman. When they first arrived, Abu waited in line for over 8 hours to receive aid from international aid organizations, only to go home empty-handed. Never did he imagine that Tzu Chi volunteers would deliver food and monetary aid to his doorstep. The Tzu Chi volunteers' love transcends all racial and religious differences.
We now turn our attention to children with developmental delays, as the Chinese Association of Early Intervention Program for Children with Developmental Delays recognized those in Taiwan who have contributed to the cause by awarding them the association's Golden Palm Tree Award. Here are this year's winners.
Liao, who founded the Foundation for Children with Developmental Delays 16 years ago, was given the Special Contribution Award by CAEIP this year.
I am a parent with a child that suffered developmental disabilities. To care for these children with special needs is really not that easy.
Numbers show that currently 30% of children in Taiwan's rural communities suffer developmental delays and lack access to medical resources.
We are looking to establish service stations in rural communities that help children with developmental delays and to minimize the gap between urban and rural areas.
To do his part for the same cause, every year Director梁忠詔of Tzu Chi Hospital's Rehabilitation Department and his pediatric rehabilitation team visit children in remote areas to make sure they are developing properly.
It's better to get treatment as soon as possible. The golden opportunity is between birth and 3 years old, while the brain is still developing, because after everything is set in stone, it is more difficult to make modifications.
Pediatric rehabilitation became a part of Tzu Chi Hospital's Rehabilitation Department in 1996. In the same year, Dr. Liang established the Chinese Association of Early Intervention Program for Children with Developmental Delays with Dr. Guo Huangzong and several other like-minded friends.
Actually, many parents and their children need this type of service. And it just so happened that we had enough social workers and resources to carry out this service. It won't work either if you simply rely on the hospital.
For nearly 2 decades, Dr. Liang has spared no efforts in caring for children with developmental delays in rural areas. As he knows the importance of early treatment, he has invested much in pediatric rehabilitation.
The earlier the treatment, the better. If you spend $1 now in pediatric rehabilitation, you might save $10 later in special education or other areas. So why not do it sooner if you can save more?
By contributing his expertise to meet the needs of society, Dr. Liang has been giving himself selflessly. He surely is worthy of this year's CAEIP Golden Palm Tree Award.
Since 1997, the Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter has been offering new shoe scholarships to needy students before the new semester begins to make sure they have the means to continue with their education. This year, the chapter has received more than 3,700 applications from Kuala Lumpur and nearby areas. Thus, Tzu Chi volunteers recently mobilized to visit each applicant to learn more about their situation and needs. For many needy students, Tzu Chi's New Shoe Scholarships gives them the chance to continue their education and lessen the financial burden on their families.
Many parents don't have the means to pay for their children's tuition. The Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter hopes to lift some of that burden off their shoulders by offering New Shoe scholarships to impoverished yet deserving students. By conducting home visitations, we can encourage even more to do good deeds.
This year, the Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter has received more than 3,700 New Shoe Scholarship applications from Kuala Lumpur and nearby areas. In less than 40 days, Tzu Chi volunteers have to visit each family to do a detailed assessment.
The purpose of conducting home visitations is to learn more about applicants and their families. Normally, schools will pass on possible cases to us, so we'll have to visit the applicants ourselves to see how Tzu Chi can reach out to them.
After witness suffering firsthand, elementary school teacher Tzu Chi has learned to cherish her blessings.
I am very grateful for what I have, especially after seeing the hardship these students are living in. Tzu Chi's assistance means a lot to them because not many organizations are willing to walk in their shoes. Schools don't really check on students' financial situation.
Thanks to Tzu Chi's assistance, starting from next year, these needy students can continue their education worry-free. Tzu Chi volunteers in Pingtung, Taiwan recently held a New Shoe Scholarship Award ceremony for 151 students. Among the recipients was Li Ziwei, who was raised by her grandmother while her parents work in the city. As Ziwei's grandmother suffered a stroke this May, Ziwei has now been taking care of her grandmother on top of her studies. Not only has she managed to maintain good grades, the young girl even has made time to tutor the children of her tribe. Here's more on her story.
Following Typhoon Morakot, Li Ziwei's family settled in Pingtung's new Liao tribal village to start over. Ziwei, who had been raised by her grandmother, was not very understanding of her parents when young.
Other children have their parents by their side. The one that has always been by my side is my grandma.
When her grandmother suffered a stroke in May of this year, Ziwei was faced with the responsibility of taking care of her grandmother in addition to her studies. Her filial piety was recognized by the Tzu Chi Foundation, which awarded her a New Shoe Scholarship Award. Taking to the stage, Ziwei expresses her deepest gratitude to the people who have influenced her life.
I want to thank my grandma for giving me an opportunity to look after her. I'm also thankful to my uncle and aunt for their care.
After all, her parents are not by her side, so the fact that she is so independent and can manage her own affairs is really remarkable.
Ziwei also has a wish.
I hope that I will always remember the love that I have received and spread this love to more people in need.
At New Liao Tribal Village, Zhi Wei uses her spare time to tutor indigenous children. A social work major, not only is she putting her knowledge into practice, but is also actualizing her dream of helping others one step at a time.
Visiting care recipients to make sure their needs are met is a very important part of the work at Tzu Chi volunteers. In China, Tzu Chi volunteers in Hebei province are preparing for the upcoming winter aid distribution by visiting care recipients and find out their needs. Meanwhile, volunteers in Guangdong province also visited care recipients as part of their monthly visitation schedule.
Volunteers do rehab exercises with stroke victim Tan Xiaoyin. With 3 people who suffer from mental illness in his family, Liang Rongdu is worried that he is not healthy enough to take care of them. Tsai Bilan is a doctor specializing in disease prevention, and this is her first time joining the Tzu Chi volunteers on their home visitations. She not only brings useful medical advice to the care recipients, but also brought a gift for Liang Shuiqing, who is recovering from a stem cell transplant.
为什么？是啊，对啊，就是10万个为什么，这上面都有解答。
I joined the home visitation because I wanted to inform the care recipients on the right ways to take care of their own health. I hope my visit was helpful to them and that they can live their lives better.
Through giving her time, Dr. Tsai was reminded of her initial aspiration to join the medical profession. A grandmother shows off her short spear routine to welcome the volunteers.
你看大家对你多好啊，所以你要常常出去让大家看的，不能都关在家里。每天都开开心心的，对啊，好不好
？During this visit, one of the volunteers was moved to tears as she was reminded of her own parents.
因为我的父母
She is similar to my parents' age.
Though it's the first time the volunteers and grandmother Tian have met, everyone has already become very fond of one another.
这出来了啊！没事的哈，你看到这么老远看我来了，还能摸着我回去的啊。
According to Chinese culture, the 7th lunar month is also known as Girls' Month, during which extravagant banquets are held and large amounts of joss papers are burned to honor the dead. However, for Buddhists, the 7th lunar month is a month of auspiciousness, gratitude, and joy. Recently, Tzu Chi volunteers in both Hong Kong and Taiwan organized blessing ceremonies to teach the public how to observe the month in the correct manner. At the Jingsi Hall in Qingshui District, Taichung, Tzu Chi volunteers carefully guide their guests into the venue. Next, the volunteers kick off the 7th lunar month blessing ceremony with a drum performance. The drum team is made up of volunteers who seize their free time during the evening to practice. Tzu Chi volunteer Cai Tianfa even dreamed of drumming in his sleep.
He talks in his sleep. I'll say to him, "You're too tired. Please go to sleep."
I don't have other places to practice, so I told myself that I have to memorize all the drum movements. I gave myself too much pressure.
Prior to their performance, volunteers split into teams to rehearse. The volunteers' dedication to the performance left a strong impression on their drum teacher, Cai Yuci.
The volunteers are great. This place is surrounded by love.
To promote the concept of environmental protection, Tzu Chi volunteers decorated the venue with plastic bottles from the recycling station and readily available flowers.
We want the public to know that we didn't spend too much money to transform this place into an elegant venue. We spent less than $30.
Despite suffering from a disability, volunteer Luo Jiyu still made it a point to attend the blessing ceremony.
Master Zeng Yan established the Tzu Chi Foundation to guide us on the right path. I'm truly blessed to be a part of the organization, and I love attending Tzu Chi activities.
To advocate the true meaning of the 7th lunar month as a time of auspiciousness, Tzu Chi volunteers in Hong Kong also held a blessing ceremony. During the event, the volunteers encouraged the public to replace straws paper with a pious heart.
We can safeguard the planet by burning less straws paper and using paper wisely.
We need to become more eco-friendly and burn less straws paper.
Burning straws paper is like burning trees. Many people don't realize that it is bad for us because the negative impact doesn't happen right away.
Tzu Chi volunteers also offer vegetarian meals to inspire the public to go vegetarian as a way to cultivate blessings and to pray for all sentient beings.
I want to promote vegetarianism to more people and refrain from killing animals. I'll follow the Noble Eightfold Path as a way to cultivate wisdom and compassion.
Thanks to blessing ceremony, members of the public now know how to observe the 7th lunar month in the correct manner. It has been nearly 2 months since the dust explosion at the Bali water park, yet the Tzu Chi volunteers' love and care for the victims has yet to cease. Next, we join Tzu Chi volunteers in Taipei's Wenshan district as they continue to provide spiritual as well as material support for burn victims and their families.
In Taipei's Wenshan district, Tzu Chi volunteer Chen Zhenxian is on a special mission to purchase eggs.
You know that I'm purchasing these eggs for the burn victims, so you always give me a good price.
As protein helps burn victims heal from their injuries, Chen purchased a large quantity of eggs to make for the burn victims at the Wanfang Hospital. Seeing his kindness, the vendor also contributed her share.
This box of eggs is for the Bali water park victims. Please send them my regards for their speedy recovery. Fried eggs are not very expensive, but the act of going out of their way to prepare it for us touches my heart in a way that I cannot express in words.
Moved by the volunteers' countless efforts, today Mr. Xu, father of a burn victim, prepares some rice vermicelli to share.
I've seen Tzu Chi volunteers coming and going at the hospital at all hours, and it occurred to me that I could cook something for them to reciprocate their kindness. This also gives us an opportunity to get together.
Thumbs up for Tzu Chi. They are definitely full of love.
3到5人。
Our teams are made up of 3 to 5 people. Each team cares for one burn victim. This way, we get to know the burn victim and his or her family very quickly. So that way, we can spread our love to more people.
I'm very moved by your actions, such as preparing meals for us on a daily basis. Your gestures have been truly touching.
非常的了不起，我们也非常感动。
One silver lining is that the patients at the Wanfang Hospital have become fast friends through the bond that they share on that ill-fated day.
祝大家都能好起来。谢谢。对，要一起。
A book was recently published featuring the personal stories of some of the 1,400 Jingsi books and cafes young volunteers. To promote this book, about 20 young volunteers and their parents gathered to share how these children have transformed through volunteering. Let's take a look.
Wearing an apron, young volunteer Zhuang Yizhen is good at cleaning up. However, 2 years ago, she had no idea what it meant to serve others.
拖地，还有补货，还有倒垃圾，还有帮忙点餐，还有倒水。
做这么多事情，你平常在家里都会做吗？
不会。
Eden started volunteering on July 28th in 2013. Her mother remembers that day well.
我就在我生日那一天。
My little girl started volunteering on my birthday. I wanted to find some good people to guide her for me.
别人来帮我管这个小孩，一定是可以的。
Children are like white paper. They absorb everything.
Another young volunteer, Lin Yuliang, who is about to enter first grade, is a fast learner. Not only does he perform sign language songs well, he's also careful in shelving books and cleaning up. Once back home, Yuliang also massages his grandmother.
有时候阿嬷累了怎么办？
捶背，帮阿嬷捶背。
He started volunteering before he turned 4. He is mature for his age and he understands his parents work hard.
Through serving others, these children strengthen their bonds with their parents and relish in the joy of helping others.
Next, we meet the youngest Filial Piety Award winner ever recognized by the Kaohsiung city government. 13-year-old許珀瑜was brought up by his grandmother since his parents' divorce. 6 years ago,珀瑜's grandmother's overall health began to deteriorate and has had to rely on other people to care for her. Since then,珀瑜has been picking up his grandmother from her adult daycare center and also preparing dinner for her once home. Committed to his filial duties, 珀瑜 said he is simply reciprocating for the love and care he received in the past. Let's take a look.
Crossing the street,珀瑜has to get to the adult daycare center before 4:30 p.m. every day. 13-year-old珀瑜has been caring for his 73-year-old grandmother for 6 years now.
I got used to walking this much. I have to hold her hand since she might follow other people and get lost.
珀瑜 has been walking 15 minutes every day to pick up his grandmother since 2nd grade. 珀瑜's grandmother used to care for him, but her memory started deteriorating 6 years ago. Therefore, 珀瑜 and his siblings now helping doing household chores.
When I see her smile, I feel that caring for grandma can be fun.
爱拼家的娘，是不是都有记住？对不对？
对。Listening to his grandmother singing and checking the lyrics is a way for 珀瑜 to see if her memory has improved. 珀瑜 says his grandmother cared for him when he was little, so he is simply doing his part to reciprocate her love and care.
Since the beginning of this month, the foundation has been offering the Seniors Dine Together program at Hualien County Shuiyuan Village. On the most recent Dine Together event, nursing students at Tzu Chi College of Technology and Tzu Chi University were also on site to give seniors a basic health checkup. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.